What is East Asia? East Asia is the eastern region of Asia, which is defined in both geographical and cultural terms. The states of East Asia include China, Mongolia, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, North Korea, South Korea, and Japan. Before that, I would like to introduce myself. Konnichiwa, watashi wa ahli Afrika desu. Alia Toyode Kudasai. So today I'm going to share a few information about Japan. The Japanese names for Japan are Nippon or Nihon, which is an island country lying off the East Ocean, located in the Northwest Pacific Ocean. Japan is known worldwide for its traditional arts, including tea ceremonies, calligraphy, and flower arranging. So the sub-regions of Japan from the northeast to southwest are Hokkaido, Tohoku, Kanto, Chubu, Kasai, Chugoku, Shikoku, Kyushu, and Okinawa. Hokkaido is famed for its agriculture. Kasai is the home to the top global companies in Japan, while others are famous for its long-established industry. The long history of Japan, which is believed to have begun as far back as the prehistoric era. It can be divided into 4 periods: prehistoric, ancient, classical, medieval, and modern. Japanese culture was influenced from ancient times to a Middle Age primarily by multiple Chinese dynasties and to a lesser extent by other Asian countries. For language, the majority of Japan's citizens speak Japanese as their primary language. Then the major religions in Japan are Shinto, along with Buddhism. One of Japanese popular meal is sushi, and kimono is the national dress of Japan. Traditionally, sumo is considered as Japan's national sport. Japan has 4 distinct seasons, which cool in the north, where snow and ice dominate in winter, temperate in the central regions, and almost tropical on the small southern islands. The rains are abundant almost everywhere, and between summer and autumn, the country is hit by torrential rains and typhoons. One of the biggest environmental problems in Japan is waste management. As a result of the massive amount of trash and due to the lack of space that can accommodate this trash production, Japan also has faced a serious air pollution started in the latter half of the 20th century. Other than that, Japan involved dealing with the aftermath of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant disaster. To the Japanese, this accident remains a major environmental issue that the state is still dealing with up to today. Japan is the only country in the world with a reigning emperor. Emperors have no real powers, but they are still revered as a symbol of the country's traditions and unity. So the leader of this country are emperor and prime minister. It is a constitutional monarchy with Tokyo as its capital. The currency in Japan is the Japanese yen. One of the current issues in Japan is rising of the teen suicide, even though the number of suicides in Japan at historic low in 2019. Japan's population decreasing due to the less people are being born. People are generally living longer, and not many people from outside countries to Japan. And lastly, shortage of doctors in future.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hanya saya 내 이름은 BA2463B 클래스는 누인디나입니다. 네, 오늘은 한국에 대해 소개하겠습니다. As you can see from my introduction, today I'm going to introduce to you about Korea. So as you can know, Korea is divided into 2, which is South Korea and North Korea. South Korea is known as Republic of Korea. Meanwhile, North Korea is known as Democratic People's Republic of Korea. The economy of South Korea is highly developed mixed company, which dominated by the family-owned conglomerates called chaebol. This economic growth has been called as the miracle of the Han River, where the South Korea changed from the poorest country to the next top 11 country that will dominate the economic global. In 2020, the main economic activity for South Korea is tourism. It has grown dramatically due to the increased popularity of the Hallyu wave, or we call this as a Korean wave. For example, Korean pop idol has become increasingly visible to the global audience and made them popular outside the South Korea. For example, Big Bang, BTS, Blackpink, and Icon. Because of that, Korean drama and the Korean food also become popular to people outside the Korea. Compared to the North Korea, their economy centrally planned system by the government. Most of their producers have to fulfill the government requirements to produce their product. The history of South Korea formally begins at 15 August 1948. South Korea's subsequent history is marked alternating periods of democratic and autocratic rule. The Sixth Republic started on 1987 till today. Their current president Moon Jae-in having taken the office from 2017 till today. Compared to the history of the North Korean, they begin at the end of the World War II, which is at 1945. Kim Il-sung led North Korea until his death in 1994. But today, Kim Jong-un is the North Korea politician serving as the supreme leader of the North Korea from 2011 till today. South Korea has its own path cultural development away from the North Korea culture. For example, Korean literature was influenced by the classic Chinese literature. However, in the second half of the 19th century, they started to use Hangul. South Korea is also popular with their Korean pop music. Other than that, Korean also popular with their trap song, which is big older generation favorite. Besides that, Korean drama is also one of the factors that boosts image and prestige of Korean popular culture. For example, drama Winter Sonata and the drama Goblin that make people getting know more about Korea. For North Korea, political themes dominate the literature. Most of their literature is about Korean War. However, they still access to the literature from around the world, for example, Harry Potter. North Korea also famous with the mass game, where the mass game is for annual celebration of their state leader birthday. Next, climate change effects have accelerated in South Korea due to their rapid urban and industrial development. Industrialization and the increase in population have produced more various pollutants and greenhouse gases. The country's few remaining old-growth forests are protected by the nature reserve. And because of these environmental problems, Korean government decided to build a forest. And now they have 20 national parks around South Korea. So now we'll talk about the current issue that we face by the South and North Korea. Korea is one of the countries that being affected by the coronavirus, but not for the North Korea. Even until now, North Korea recorded as 0 cases in COVID-19.
Assalamualaikum and selamat sejahtera. Today I would like to present my region. It is East Asia, and today I'm wearing from Japan. It's called kimono. So firstly, I would like to introduce East of Asia. East Asia is eastern region of Asia, which defined in both geographical and ethnocultural terms. The modern state of East Asia is including China, Hong Kong, Japan, Macau, Mongolia, North Korea, South Korea, and also Taiwan. East Asia, especially Chinese civilization, is regarded as one of the earliest encounters of civilization, and East Asia comprise around 1.7 billion people, making up about 38% of the population. So next, this is the map of the region. I have circled to focus it, which is the East Asia. Next, the sub-region in East Asia that I would like to introduce today is Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, China, and Mongolia. Since Macau and Hong Kong is including in Taiwan and also China, so I'm going to present three today. It is Taiwan, China, and also Mongolia. So, firstly, the history and culture of China. China is one of the world's four ancient civilizations, and the written history of China dates back to the Shan dynasty. It is 1600 to 1046, over 300 years ago. So, China has divided into the several regions with distinct styles of cooking. Mostly China netizen is speaking in Chinese and also Cantonese. Their traditional cloth is called Hanfu, and most of them are Buddhist and also Christian. Next, the history and culture of Taiwan. In 1987, martial law was defeated and Taiwan began the democratization process, beginning the abolition of the temporary provisions and culminating in with the first direct president election in 1996. Therefore, by 2000, the Democratic Progressive Party (DPP) come to power and begin to pursue Taiwanese independence and identity. Therefore, Taiwan traditional food it is beef noodle. Their traditional cloth is calling Cheong Som. Most of the netizen is speaking in Cantonese, and most of them is their religion is Buddhist and Christian, and the minority is Muslim. Next, the history and culture of Mongolia. Mongolia is the 18th largest country in the world by area, but its population of just 3 million makes it the world most sparsely populated country. Therefore, Mongolia's traditional cloth is calling Bodog. Their traditional cloth is calling Dil. Mostly Mongolian is speaking in Oryat and also Buryat. Most of them is Buddhist, Christian, and the minority was Muslim. Next, for the China economy, China is well known in import and export activities, their product and service. For Mongolia, their economy is most focused about for their traditionally been based on agriculture and also livestock. And for Taiwan, their economy is well known as the most technology advanced computer microchip maker in the world. Therefore, mostly they are oriented. They have conquered all around the world in this industry. Next, the climate of China. The climate of China is categorized by the enormous size of the country in the north, and the climate is temperate with the summer temperature around 25 degrees Celsius, while Mongolia has the high elevation with a cool and dry climate. And for Taiwan, they has a beautiful warm climate all year around. That means the north is belong to subtropical climate zone, while the south part is very also belonging to a tropical climate zone. Next, the environment problem in China is about health risk, since it is a coronavirus, and then they facing air pollution, water pollution, and water shortage until this year. Next, the environmental problem in Mongolia, they are air pollution, also water pollution, and the most biggest is illegal hunting. And lastly, for Taiwan, they have a lot of waste productions, air pollution, water pollution, and garbage proliferations. Next. Lastly, for the current issue, China is finding a solution for the coronavirus, while Mongolia country is crime rate are rising drastically in around these 3 months. And lastly, for Taiwan, they are marked around 200 days without any local coronavirus case. This is a big achievement for that country. So that's all for today. Thank you.